If you want to find out about my offers, hit that buy me a beer link, or if you want to get into contact with me, hit the Twitter or Instagram link.
How's it going, YouTube? It's Louis Crypto here. I'm back with another Hbar update for you. Over on my Twitter, I left you guys off with this uptrending line. It was simply because I wasn't able to make a video 2 days ago. Sorry I wasn't able to make one yesterday, but I'm finally back. We're still holding this uptrending sloping line. But what I must say is that with Bitcoin, it looks like, if I show you Bitcoin, it looks like potentially it's got this rising wedge over here, and there's actually a CME gap between 19 to 20k over here. So that's acting as confluence. So if that were to be the case, Bitcoin could potentially be dropping another 25%, let's just say. So that would be awful and negative for Hbar. If that were to be the case, then we can see just down to here would be a 12% dump down to here would be 12% dump, and that would be invalidating this buy trade. Now remember, we entered this buy trade in this area over here, and luckily enough, right up here I said you can get out of the position completely, or you can just take partial profits, because I see that we're coming up into this wick and it's acting as an area of supply or just resistance, and we come up to it on the right over here again, which was also the golden pocket over here between 7.3 and 7.8. and I know that I was writing 14 cent in the titles, but I was always explaining in the videos. I didn't write 14 cent, I wrote 100% move, and that's correct if we're taking it from the breakout. I believe from the breakout over here all the way up to there, this would have been 140% move. But again, guys, I explained in every single one of those updates that we need to close above 8 cent, which was this wick right here. Only then, when we are above 8 cent, does the 1618 up here at 14 cent become a target. Okay, so what we need to do is create the reversal wave. I've always explained that in reality, the fibs should not do that, but why would they have all these levels over here? Because it prepares you, if this goes wrong, then it will go up to those prices. But what the fibs should do is a push, exhaust, continuation lower, and like a similar wave down that we had here, beginning from here and continuing lower. But we can invalidate this, because although I'm measuring this with my fibs, it's saying this is where we should retrace to before continuation. I also need to measure this, and it's going to give a point that we need to retrace to before continuation. We can see if that were to play out, this would be a huge double bottom. But as I've explained on the channel multiple times already as well, for this double bottom to break out, you need to close above this neckline. So that's why I gave you this neckline and this over here as the levels that we need to break through to actually get this continuation. Until then, it's looking to retrace back to this low. Can we hold it? This is the thing. So I'm going to now measure from the low to the high over here. I'll now be getting rid of these fibs as we run into the golden pocket over here. So I'm now looking for key areas of support, and if these key areas of support don't hold, then I'm going to prepare you some targets to the downside. I'm going to delete this quickly and go out to the weekly time frame. If we look to the left over here, we see this key area of resistance in the past, and I mentioned already before that when you lose this green area, we should come back down to the lows, because if we're talking about swing highs and swing lows, this was once a swing high. How do I know that? Because we actually dumped off from this area. So this was once our top over here, and then we pushed through and made a new top over here. And when we do that, you usually return to the old top to then flip it in support. Boom, flipped in support. However, if you lose this swing high, that should now act as a swing low, or a resistance that should now act as support. You fall to the level below, the swing low underneath. So if you fail to hold this swing high as a swing low, you go to the swing low underneath it, and that would have been losing this support, heading to the support below. But we can see over here, I know that got very messy very quickly, but we can see to the right over here that price did not manage to come down to 3 cent, or in and around 3 cent over here, this psychological level. Instead, it randomly bounced, not randomly, but instead it tested this double bottom breakout neckline as support over here, and then reclaimed that green box. So going forward, as we started pumping into 9.5 to 10 cent, I suggested that this green area needs to hold as support. This area, I extended it a little bit yesterday to about 4.8 cents. So it's between 4.8 and 6 cents. So this is a key area of, just an area of support that we need to hold going forward. But we can see here, potentially, if I were now to get rid of this green trend line and just place it again through this point, and that point right there. If I get rid of this uptrending line very briefly and we draw a horizontal support right here through that wick and these bodies, this is a descending triangle pattern. Let's now check this target. This is a weekly time frame pattern, and it seems as if we close a weekly candle below these bodies at 6.1 cent, unfortunately we would have to say this pattern is now valid, and it's suggesting that we could be coming all the way back down to the body candle closes over here at 3.8 cent. Now we can invalidate this simply by bouncing from this green box and reclaiming this yellow line, so that's very important. We need to wait for the weekly candle close on Sunday, and I will be back with another update as soon as the weekly candles close on Monday, so don't worry, I will be letting you guys know, and obviously on Twitter as well. So make sure you are following my Twitter. All the links that you need are in the pinned comment section below. You can of course get a single session, message me on my Twitter or Instagram. You can become a member, be part of my group chat, Discord community. You can get a course, the full plan of mentorship, which is 10 lessons or half a plan. Someone just took action in the last few days on half a plan. If you want to buy me a beer, all the links that you need to find are actually over here on the buy me a beer link. So heading back to Hbar over here, let me just get rid of this. This was, again, let me just remind you, 3.8795. So let's just say 3.88 cent. So I'm now going to get rid of it and head back to the daily time frame. And I just want to see if there's some confluence calling for that target down there. So remember, we got this target from the top to the bottom over here. I'm just going to use the fibs as we were before going over to that weekly time frame. Please make sure you're subscribing to this channel. We're trying to push for 6,000 subscribers as quick as we can, so help me achieve that, guys. Also over my Twitter, we're very close to 2k followers, so if we could push for that, incredible, guys. Now when we go over to the daily time frame, we can see it looks a little bit different. We can actually say that the support is down here, but this would extend the target. Can we see that? This would extend the target, and so the target would be actually quite a bit lower. Can we see now it's at 3.3 instead of 3.8, and that actually signal for new lower lows. So we really need to see if there are some key levels of support that can hold us up before we actually meet this target, because the moment we're closing below this, now this is the daily time frame, and please remember I did just move this down, because now if we go back to the weekly, you'll see it's different. So can you see it's not on the body? So the weekly, the neckline is 6.2, but again on the daily time frame, the neckline is about 5.7 cents. So I'm just going to show you that the targets were 3.88, and now the daily one is 3.36. So I want to see if there's we've got some confluence over here with the actual Fibonacci targets. So I'm going to get rid of this just for now briefly, and I'm going to also place some new Fibonacci's. Just want to see if there's some key areas of support that we need to hold going forward. And there we go. So we've seen the 618 here on my invalidation line. That's quite funny. So yeah, I guess you can drag this down, but the reason why I put it there is because on the loss of that wick, again, this is our lowest point. So going below that, that's not an uptrend. So that's why that would be the invalidation for me of this uptrend essentially. And we can see that we're respecting this resistance on multiple occasions over here. This trend line was from the weekly time frame. So on the daily, it is a little bit different. But again, we're seeing that it's still being respected over here. So yeah, over here on the Fibonacci's, we've got some support sitting at 6 cent, which is where we actually entered from. We've also got, because simply it lost the 0.5 fib, it was heading towards the 618, it actually failed, and on the reclaim it actually confirmed that 0.5 of support. So that was our reasoning. It's lost the psychological level of 6 cent, it lost the 0.5 fib, then it reclaimed the 0.5 fib, which also happened to be a psychological level of 6 cent, and it confirmed it multiple times as support. So that's the reasonings, okay? And then we've got some key levels also down here. Look, very nicely tying up with the 1618 at 4.3 cent. We got 4.4 cent as the 786 fib. So there's actually something down here telling me that there's a key area of support. So I'm going to make this green. And we know that the 786 is actually the deepest we can retrace before actually reclaiming the golden pocket. So there could be a scenario where you come down to here and then eventually break out again. So that would just be another scare, like something that we saw with Bitcoin, where Bitcoin over here is actually every dip taking out the lows. Over here, can we see we had a 5-month bottom over here, then we took out the lows and we reclaimed it. We were accumulating over here, and then we took out this low, boom, and reclaimed it. So essentially that's what we could be seeing over here. Again, the Bitcoin's target is 25% lower, so HBAR is going to get wrecked if that were to be the case. But as we've seen prior, we're having all these bearish patterns and we're not meeting the targets. Just as this one, we broke down and we then went up. That's not what should have happened. We should have continued lower. In actual fact, this would have been your target next down here. After the loss of this green line, we'd come down to here. Did that happen? No. We reclaimed, and then over here as well, we broke the low, looking for to come back down to here, and then it just stopped randomly on this. So could we just be coming like back to this resistance? The target itself is down here. Again, there's a CME gap down here, so there's confidence to say it should come down here. But we know if this is truly the bull market, then these bearish patterns are scams, they're tricks, and so they can break down in the short term, they can validate themselves in the short term, but they can also invalidate themselves because the bulls will just step in out of nowhere. So just like over here, we had rejected this previous 5-month support now as resistance. That's an awful signal, guys. It should not go up. It goes down, and it didn't. So there we go. And over here as well, you lost the 200 daily EMA. That's signaling a downtrend. And then 3 candles later, you're back above. Like, it's not making sense. It's showing you that, yes, the bears are stepping in, but the bulls are stepping in even harder and sending price higher and higher each time. So could it be that, yes, the target is down here, but can we just find support, you know, in this area over here and then come back up? This would actually reduce the alts, like reduce the amount that the alts go down, essentially. So that could be, you know, a scenario where we do come down to here and then reclaim it as I've just shown you. But again, if Bitcoin does not behave and actually meets the technical target down here, again, HBAR, and not just HBAR, Bitcoin and all cryptos are going to get wrecked. It's nothing against the fundamentals of HBAR, it's just what the patterns on the chart are essentially suggesting. Now, again, we know that after holding this area for so many months, then losing it and reclaiming it, we really don't want to lose it again, guys, because it suggests that, yeah, for the moment, this is the fake out. But then this could all be a fake out, and then we do continue lower and lower and lower. I don't want that to be the case. Personally, I'd rather it go up, of course. If it does go down, it's just cheaper prices to accumulate. Amazing. But of course, whatever's in there at the moment is just going to get wrecked further. So yeah, long term, it's like we still got higher projections, of course. We're still expecting in the long term 14, 20, 25, 30 cent. Because again, eventually one day HBAR needs to get back up to 60 cent. So I can even say, oh, it's going to go to 60 cent. But it's wrong to believe we're going to go there overnight, even to 14, 20 and 30 cent. We're not going to get there overnight. This could take 1 year plus to get to these price points. Just that, they will be met at some point. So yeah, we just need to see how Bitcoin is behaving. I hope this was a great video for you guys today. Again, I've just drawn you some key level supports and just shown you that there are some bearish patterns forming at the moment. And yeah, we need Bitcoin to actually either get going or start coming down. For me with Bitcoin, as long as it's below this 20, as I've mentioned on my Twitter already, I am bearish on Bitcoin simply because of the loss of the 20 daily EMA. Why do I say I'm bearish? Because this, as we can see, when we're above this purple one, we're continuing with this uptrend. So the moments we're closing below it is the beginning of a downtrend. So the beginning, right, it means very like immediate short term. But when we're looking at this white line over here, it's actually holding us in an uptrend. So it's quite annoying because we're in an uptrend but we're starting a downtrend. So if you're not getting it, I can help you step by step until you get it. I've got a one-to-one mentorship plan. I've got 1 slot at the moment. If you wanted to do the one-to-one mentorship, I've got 1 slot open. Whether you want to do just the half plan, which is 5 sessions with me, or even 10 sessions. And remember, it's all in the pinned comment section below in the top right corner over here or in the description. All you need to do is private message me on my Twitter or Instagram, or you can actually just click the mentorship over here and you can find either the half plan or the full plan, or if you just want to give it a go, you can head over to the extras and get a single mentorship session. I've also had someone in the past day request some YouTube TA, so I will obviously say when I make that video, this video was not sponsored. Yeah, I guess you can say sponsored by a subscriber, so that is the reason why I'm making this crypto video essentially. So if you want to do that, you can go check out. We've had a good few members in the last few days. So yeah, if you want to join and see when what cryptos I'm actually invested in, again, I have cryptos that I'm not covering on YouTube, cryptos that are of course above 1 billion market cap, below 1 billion, under 100 million and under 10 million. So if you want to be part of the community, you know what to do. Head over to the bookings, the membership level over here, and there's 5 different different levels. You can get constant private TA. We've had someone join that in the last week. And if you wanted single sessions of mentorship every month, so you get 1 hour of video calls with me on top of constant private TA, on top of my Discord community and early access to my videos. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope to see you in my Discord community, but make sure you are following me on my Twitter and subscribing here to my YouTube. Cheers.